got the box on the wrong side. It's facing towards the end of the trailer. There's no ladder here. The ladder's in the middle of the trailer, so if this was turned around the other way, whatever hopper you're loading into, you could stand on the ladder, but whoops. Well, it's currently May 8th and we still haven't done anything yet as far as farming goes, but we're getting close. It's just a couple days away, and right now just loaded the seed tender with corn in the front hopper. The back hopper's empty, but we'll probably put some soybeans in here. But loaded this up, and I think we're actually gonna pull the corn planter out, load the corn planter yet today, and kind of give it a little bit of a test drive, maybe up on top of the sand hill where it is drying off. As I said before in the last video, we are getting climate field view, and we want to make sure that's talking with our precision 2020 monitor and the rest of the machine. So I'm gonna pull this out in the driveway now, and that way we can swing out the load auger and back the corn planter up to it, see if we can fill it up. So it is still a bit too wet to plant yet, but we are getting everything kind of out pre-loaded for when it is time to go. We're not doing all this stuff opening day. We can just get in the machines and go when the time is ready. But we're actually gonna try to give this thing a test drive and make sure everybody's talking. Dad's actually gonna go work up a couple passes up on the sand hill behind the home farm here. I jumped in the rock picker. We'll go up on the hill and pick whatever Dad picks up. See the neighbor across the lane there is working around too. That's a pretty cool shot. Got a cultivator down there too. I got a vertical disc, kind of New Highland. There's Dad. tractor up on this hill a few weeks ago, just to try to get ahead of the game. But the field cultivator will pull up a couple more, but usually the big ones I already kind of got. It's always cool seeing the neighbors working right next to you. Have all the tractors kind of all together.
22 acre piece. It's heavier dirt, but tile's 22 and a half.
Yeah, I'll go over there and look at it. Say, Dad's, I don't know if you can see it with the GoPro, the zoom doesn't work very good with the GoPro. That's one thing I like filming about the iPhone better, is that it's got good zoom. But Dad already kind of pulled the plug on cultivating. It could use some more time. I'm pretty sure the neighbors just said the hell with it and are going. But we're gonna wait. But we just made enough room so where we can get the corn planter in here and, like I said, fine tune everything and kind of give it a test run. So, and then hopefully in the next day or so we'll be back out here full force. So I got this 22 acre chunk in between the woods and that other woods. I never rock picked in here yet. It was always a little bit wet. I was afraid to drive out in here, but it seems dry enough now. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these bigger ones. This thing is way easier than what we used to pick rocks with. We only had this rock picker for about 2 years. Before then, we just had a loader bucket with a rock bucket attachment. It was a John Deere 4320. If you follow the channel, you know the tractor, but yeah, we used to pick rocks with that, and it wasn't very efficient. It took forever, and yeah, this is way faster, easier, nicer, comfortable, all around better. So, I mean, I like it. I don't see how we could go back after running one of these. This was originally PTO driven, and it had the 540, and we always liked running it on the 8100, which has the big 1000. So this was way too much for this rock picker. So we ended up converting it all over to a hydraulic, and so far it's been great. I'm pretty happy with it. I had this real big one in there now that fought me for probably a good 15 minutes. That's one thing bad about how we set this up. The hydraulic motor just isn't quite big enough, I think, for some of these real big monsters. It just doesn't have enough power to lift the big ones in there. But well, besides that, I mean, it works great. But these really big ones you got to fight with a little bit. Let's see it come out here. So we just got done preloading the air drill. It's the next day. We never did end up taking the corn planter out, so yet this morning we're gonna get that out. But we're loading seed, got the air drill loaded, full of soybeans, but the belt was loose on it. It was acting weird yesterday when we were loading corn, and then it didn't even want to turn this morning. So we tightened up the belt on the conveyor a little bit, and that seemed to work. So putting the wrenches away, and then I can move the air drill out of the way, out of the driveway. I don't think we are going to start planting today. If by some chance we end up working ground, I'll probably the farm down the road behind my house. That's about 38 acres, and that one's tiled on the closest centers. It's 25-foot centers for tile. So Both machines are filled now, so we're just gonna preload the seed tender for next fill-ups. We have the one seed tender, so we usually do corn in the front and then beans in the back here. Got one more box. We usually just put 2 boxes at a time in each compartment. Probably do 3, but then it's gonna be heaped right up, and then you could potentially have corn or beans slide over into the other compartment and probably contaminate it. So just do 2 boxes. You don't have concrete in here either, so all the boxes that are sitting on the dirt floor, we've just been taken over to the other building to the air compressor, blow off the bottom. That way no tiny stones or dirt gets in the wagon and ends up in your planter. So that's what Dad's doing right now. I'm just waiting for him to come back. That and the fork truck doesn't get it quite center, so I just shovel a little bit over to the other edge. Well, now it's just a waiting game, so I'm gonna jump back in the rock picker today and go around the corner and start picking rocks again. Just drove around the corner to the next farm here to pick rocks, and this one was chisel plowed. This is gonna be turned into soybeans, but it was chisel plowed in the fall, where the other farms behind the house were hit with a 7-shank ripper. So that being chisel plowed makes for a little bit of a rougher ride. All the ribs in the dirt, and the rocks are a little bit harder to grab. You can see more buried. A little bit slow going in here. And for anybody thinking that an 8100 is a little bit overkill for a rock picking tractor, you're not wrong. We wanted to put the 4030 on the rock picker here, but the problem is the 4030 only has 1 hydraulic remote, and this requires a minimum of 2 to run the rock picker. We have 3 lines hooked up to it now. Got 1 to run your reel, to sweep in the rocks, and then you got 1 to like set the basket up or down and dump it, and the 3rd one isn't really necessary, but it's a cylinder to help the picker fold, so I can fold it up behind me so it's not so offset and going down the road and stuff. Step away from the rock picker and helping out, giving the corn planer a test drive. I think we got everything almost set, so probably pull ahead here in a minute. Well, it's after lunch now. I think we got the corn planter how we want it, and everything's talking, and we're having trouble with when the planter stopped and started to put seed on the ground. We had some trouble with it last year, and I think we got it pretty good now. I'm in the rock picker now. I'm back over in that chisel plowed ground where that's going to be turned into soybeans. Dad might crack open the field behind my house, which is about 38 acres, and then maybe the field, as I mentioned before, that 22-acre field in between the woods is probably going to be the driest. And then yeah, I'm just going to keep picking rocks today, And then maybe tomorrow afternoon jump in the air seeder, but that's a big maybe. But we'll see. A lot of rocks to pick, so I'll definitely stay busy. It's late in the afternoon now. I ended up leaving the field that's going into soybeans. I went around the corner down the road into a different field that's going to be turned into corn. Dad's in here working with the field cultivator right now. He already did the field behind my house. That was like 38 acres, and this is like 55. I think it's just under 60. So he's working this out right now. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I'm gonna be picking rocks the rest of the night, so nothing else really to show. But as usual, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll be planting beans in that one.